Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're going to have ourselves a 1v1 on Semoskiy. Our heroes today are going to be Obscura, playing for the OKW, over Commando West, and his opponent is going to be Chuck Norris himself, playing for the Soviets of the Red Army. So, needless to say, it is going to be impossible for Obscura to win because, well, it's Chuck Norris, right? Yeah. Ha. Anyways, let's take a look at what's going on here. As far as tech goes, we see that Obscura is building himself a Storm Pioneer squad while also getting a Volksgrenadier squad. Getting his truck already out and building a battlecruiser headquarters. And for his opponent, we see that Tier 2 was built right off the bat as well. And we see Maxims. Maxims and more Maxims. So, potentially a little bit of a Maxim spam. We'll see how Chuck Norris utilizes those. But, well, it is something that is, I think, a little bit prevalent right now. That's very difficult for the OKW to deal with. So, we'll see what happens. We see the first Maxim heading onto the field, heading straight into the center. We see the troops for Obscura, who is currently at a disadvantage because, well, if you notice the timer, it looks like he was AFK for the first minute of the game. May have stepped away while he was in queue or something like that. Not entirely sure, but, yeah, I mean, he actually gave Chuck Norris a whole minute of leeway. Nice little move here by Obscura, pops his Storm Pioneers into the house, allowing them to inflict massive amounts of damage to the Maxim machine gun as they are at close range, while the Volksgrenadiers absorb their damage at range through the heavy cover of the truck. Manages to force away the Maxim machine gun and the Conscript squad as well. Conscript squad did not take too many losses, may lose 1 or 2 men at most. Doesn't look like they're even going to lose anybody, but they were in a disadvantage. Less than advantageous? What am I trying to say? Disadvantageous? Maybe disadvantageous? I don't know. English, not my first language. But anyways, they were at a disadvantage, and they ended up retreating. Second Maxim machine gun for Chuck Norris popping into the church in the center. Going to be able to get the suppression off on that Volksgren squad. The Volksgren squad now suppressed. The Storm Pioneers moving around it, staying clear of the Maxim machine gun. They're probably just going to move over to the left-hand side of the map to capture. At the same time, we have the Storm Pioneers down in the right-hand side, who are near a combat engineer squad, which they could easily eat for breakfast. They will not do so just yet, but we will see what happens there. And, yeah, just looking around to see what's going on. Oh, okay, well, we see a Doctrine selection here for Mr. Obscura. He gets himself the Fortifications Doctrine, which gives him access to that MG34 heavy machine gun, which he calls in immediately, so he's going to try to use that to lock down the position towards the Maxim machine guns, I suppose. Putting them in house, putting it in a house will severely limit their mobility, so I suppose that's a nice idea. Maxim machine gun in the center, sets itself up in heavy cover, opening up into the house where the Volksgrenadiers are trying to hold a position. They are also getting shot at by conscripts on the side. They will be able to hold up in there for quite a bit, but will eventually lose. Far left-hand side, Storm Pioneers engaging against conscripts. The conscripts are at range, so they will win that engagement, or should at least, because the close range engagement will be won by the Storm Pioneers. Storm Pioneers, however, are in heavy cover, so they'll be able to outlast them, or not outlast them, but stay there for a while. Wow, I gotta pick my words. Now, on the field, another supply half-track. We'll see what ends up coming out from that. More Volksgrenadiers getting produced. So we see 2 Storm Pios, 3 Volks, and a MG34. MG34 set up right outside the base. Manages to stop that conscript squad as it approaches the cutoff point. The Maxim machine gun moves up and sets itself up to return fire. The Volksgrenadier squad getting caught by the Maxim machine gun. The MG34 unable to reach the Maxim machine gun as it is off range, but with a flanking Storm Pioneer squad, the Maxim machine gun is forced off of the field. Storm Pioneer squad will continue to pursue, inflict some damage on the retreat, potentially kill one more guy, but it will make it out of there alive. Third Maxim machine gun getting produced for Mr. Chuck Norris. He has 2 conscripts on the field to be able to reinforce those. Remember, the merge ability is the strongest point there for those Maxim machine guns to keep them on the field, which is why you need those conscripts, aside from the ability to have them flank. Conscripts moving up to the north. They'll be helping out that Maxim machine gun, so that's going to be quite a difficult flank or side of the map to contest unless he focuses more power. And the Storm Pioneer in the far north is retreating. Supply half-track moving out to the front of the base, or edge. I don't know what to call it, but right there, you can see it. We'll see what it ends up becoming, as he is just sitting around. May go for tier 2 or straight into tier 3, we shall see. But for the meantime, we see that Obscura now controls the center of the map and is in a very decent spot, considering that he is going up against Maxim Machine Guns. We see both Maxim Machine Guns, or 2 Maxim Machine Guns, moving out into the field with a conscript there for support. The other Maxim Machine Gun, again, up in the north with another conscript squad, so it'll be difficult. Mines getting laid down in the choke point there for Chuck Norris. Not a bad decision there. And Volksgrens just being used around the map to cap. Up in the north, Volksgren squad, it looks like it took a couple shots there by the conscript squad. Conscripts popping into the house, Maxim Machine Gun leapfrogging onto the church. And another Maxim Machine Gun moving over to the right-hand side, forcing the infantry units for Obscura to get the hell out of the way. Maxim Machine Gun sets up, gets another burst off on the Volksgrens. The Volksgrens get themselves caught in a very weird angle, as 3 of the members of the squad are on the other side of the hedge, but 2 of them took a wrong direction and ended up in the graveyard. Unfortunately, though, for Obscura, that allows the entire squad to get pinned down, and there they go. MG34 in the center, trying to fight as much as it can against the Maxim Machine Gun, but it will get itself suppressed or pinned down already. Forced to retreat, and there it goes. We do have an infantry support weapon, or support gun, not weapon, on the field. That is going to be excellent to dislodge those Maxim Machine Guns, so nice unit choice there. Supply half-track pushes up into the center of the map, still not converted into anything just yet, but it's around. Excuse me, had to take a little bit of a drink there. Storm Pioneers in the house, they run into the Maxim Machine Gun, or more likely the Maxim Machine Gun runs into the Storm Pioneers in the house. Unfortunately for the Maxim Machine Gun, it is at an angle where the windows over here can actually shoot back at it, so the Maxim Machine Gun will get cleared out, as it will suffer full damage there. And a Molotov gets tossed into the house. Storm Pioneers get out of there, and the shock troops, no, conscripts? I don't know, but there is a Maxim Machine Gun there on the floor. Anybody taking it? Yes, the conscripts. Shock troops now on the field, as we do have a Doctrine selection for Chuck Norris as well. He goes for the shock rifle frontline tactics, so that gives him access to those heavy tanks, KVA guys too, so good things all around. Storm Pioneers taking quite a beating there in the center, forced to retreat. Down to 2 men. The infantry support gun is now on the field. Shots fly at one of the Maxim Machine Guns. Will be able to inflict quite a bit. We see another Maxim Machine Gun getting cleared out in the center of the map, as a Volksgren squad is now taking possession of the church. The shock troops moving in to engage them, but they are protected by the light of God. And down in the south, we see a Gren squad forcing the retreat of a Maxim Machine Gun as well. Massive amounts of Maxims not really working out too well here for Chuck Norris. We also see the MG34 being brought up, getting suppression off on the shock troops. The shock troops will eventually get pinned down and forced to retreat. We do have the Maxim Machine Gun in the house, getting bursted there by the Panzer Shrek and the infantry support gun. And if it doesn't leave there, it will die. Volksgrens in the church are forced to retreat, as they did take quite a bit of beating. I don't know why I said there, quite a bit of beating. There we go. Maxim Machine Gun in the house, looks like it ended up dying. Do we have a weapon collapsed in there? Yeah, there it is. Lost to the battlefield in the wreckage of a house. Center of the map, we do have Volksgrenadiers retreating, as shock troops are now on the field. We do still have that MG34 that could potentially force a retreat there, but the shock troops are nearby. Volksgren up with those Shreks, or the Shrek, because they only get one. Popping into the house, playing a little bit of delay tactic there, forcing the troops to stay off. MG34 backs off, sets up in a nice angle there to cover the entire approach. Gets a burst off on the... oh, nice hit there by the infantry support gun. Volksgren squad barely makes it out. Nice grenade on top of the MG34. Kills 2 of its members. Second grenade goes off, kills another one. One man stays alive. Takes a hold of the MG34 and opens up on the retreating forces and manages to hold the line. Far north, Storm Pioneer squad capping. In center map, we have a flamethrower-equipped combat engineer squad ready for anything that pops into the house. Nothing pops into the house, however. A Storm Pioneer squad is what comes up. Does get burned alive with one of its men. Flamethrower continues to go off, and there it goes. Infantry support gun still taking pot shots at whatever it can. Not really hitting anything. And on the far right-hand side, we see an interesting positioning here for the Gewehr Panzer headquarters. Obviously, it does get that flak gun on top, so it will cover this area. You can see right there the area of influence. So, yeah, I mean, it covers this entire approach. Doesn't cover the point here, but, I mean, it doesn't really matter. It makes it so that it is very difficult for anything to just sneak off and disconnect and capture the right-hand side victory point and munitions. Obviously, yes, you can go through here and just leap over the fence, but, you know, makes it more difficult because usually players are just going to click in the minimap for something to go in that direction. Maybe they'll do a queue order to go cap this one, and then go over here. But, you know, they'll go through the path of least resistance. Maxim machine gun now on the floor here for Obscura to take, potentially. Combat engineer squad duking it against the Volksgrens. They take a nasty shot there by the infantry support gun, losing their flamethrower and getting executed on the retreat by the MG34 and the Volksgrens. And the entire combat engineer squad is lost. The Volksgren decided to salvage, so instead of taking that, they're just going to pop that and convert it into 5 fuel. And some munitions, I think. It says, doesn't let me take over here. There you go. It says 5, oh no, just fuel. Okay, so 5 fuel for weapons and 12 for vehicles. So yeah, not going to be using it himself, so he just gets rid of it and gets some fuel, which is a very nice option. Again, I mean, usually you want to take your enemy's weapons and use them against them, but if you're not going to be using that, you at least want to destroy them to deny your enemy the opportunity to recover them. And what better way to destroy them than salvaging them and getting 5 fuel in return? So yeah, I mean, that's actually an excellent ability. I mean, usually you would think of scavenging, you know, for wreckage, but no, I mean, that ability right there is actually quite good. Quite a good method of getting rid of those weapons that just don't fit in your plan. So, a little bit of a, not stalemate, but a lull in the battle. We see Obscura taking this opportunity to recapture territory, popping forward, getting units into buildings, having Shreks and all of his Volksgrens anticipating some type of vehicle play, but we do see that Chuck Norris has not gone for any additional tech, so no vehicles will be coming anytime soon. Vehicles, unless something happens here, will most likely come in the form of heavy tanks from his Doctrine, and that is either the KV-8 or the IS-2. So the Shreks, for the meantime, are a little bit of a waste. They kind of help out a little bit in the buildings, you know, popping in there, doing damage to the building themselves and the, you know, the units inside. But for the most part, the Volksgrens could have just saved that munitions and not utilized that. Maybe used it in grenades so far. And then once the vehicles, you know, hit the field, get those Shreks. Obersoldaten now on the field for Obscura, giving him a nice boost there in infantry firepower. Up in the far north, we do have still Maxim machine guns and infantry moving around. Conscript squad's retreating, shock troop squad retreating. Maxim machine gun holding the line, but in a weird angle there. And we have some Volksgrens and Storm Pioneers recapturing the north. Volksgren squad pops into the house to provide some cover fire. Will not be able to provide too much in the form of damage, since only one window is in that direction. However, with more windows in the sides, they may be able to help out there. They decide to pop out once a Molotov gets thrown in there and will now be able to provide full support. Shock Troop Squad forced to retreat. Conscript forced to retreat as well. AT gun now on the field for Chuck Norris, but it backs off as it gets right in front of the approaching infantry. Shrek shot flies, tries to nail the retreating infantry, but does not make it. Maxim machine gun moving up to the north for Chuck Norris. Going to catch that Storm Pioneer squad out in the open. Gets it suppressed. The Storm Pioneer squad does a little bit of damage there with its assault rifles, but ultimately will lose. Needs to retreat. Will he be able to retreat? Gets itself pinned. We do have a squad following up with a Volksgren squad, but the Storm Pioneers will die here if they just stay there. Down to 2 men. More damage continues to fall upon the Storm Pyro squad. Down to 1 man. Looks like Obscura will not be saving that, and down it goes. Volksgren squad pushes up right up behind that squad and gets a couple shots in there, but it retreated long before it had a chance. Obersoldaten and Volkswagen squad on the retreat pad, but with a 6-man squad, it looks like it's going to be very difficult for that to make much of an effect. MG34 set up for a pin here on Semoskiy. Shock Troop squad managing to dodge the pin and get themselves behind. Both squads, or MG squads, are currently suppressed. However, the pin does go down on the Maxim machine gun first. Oh, nasty shots there by the infantry support gun, getting some damage in on one of the squads. That was a Maxim machine gun squad forced to retreat. Second Maxim machine gun squad getting annihilated, not annihilated there, but peppered there by the approaching infantry. Well, not approaching infantry, what the hell am I saying? The approaching infantry getting nailed there by the infantry support gun and taking a lot of damage. I am out of it today, what the hell? I need to start drinking more coffee. MG34, once again, on the field, or a second MG34, just covering the rear as the forward MG falls. Shock troops moving up, may be able to get pinned down. Conscripts also pushing up. They are in range of the MG34, but they are not going to get shot as they can't be seen. Shock troops pop into the house. They don't get any shots off on the MG34, but I'm pretty sure they see it. And that flak half truck over, well, not flak, flak gun on top of that truck up there is doing a decent job at covering the zone, as it does not allow anything to just come up there and recapture territory. Maxim machine gun back in the church. Up in the far north, we have an AT gun engaging Volksgrens. The Volksgrens retreat as a shock troop squad was moving in their direction. And not much going on just yet. Nothing really getting built. Infantry support gun lobbing some shots there at the Maxim machine gun. The Maxim machine gun dodging most of the shots right now. MG34 also not getting suppressed there by the Maxim machine gun, as it does have basically heavy cover in its way, giving it that modifier. Obersoldaten pop right in front of the Maxim machine gun. They jump the fence and get themselves right in front of the arc of fire of the Maxim machine gun, giving some nice line of sight there to the AT gun. A grenade goes off on the Maxim machine gun, down to one man. We do have a flanking squad here in the form of a shock troop squad. Shock troop squad manages to inflict a decent amount of damage to the infantry support gun, bringing it down to about half health and 3 members only. However, with the flak gun on the truck and some units there for support, including a Volkswagen squad, the Shocks are forced to retreat. Maxim machine gun backs off. One of them is retreating down to one man, barely makes it out, and we now have a KV-8 on the field, which is what we mentioned. Heavy tanks all around. This is going to be a difficult one for Obscura to deal with. He does not have AT guns on the field. He does have, or well, RtN Warfers, because it's not really AT guns, I guess, although they are, but man, it's weird. He does have Shreks on Volksgrens. One Volksgren squad dies immediately, losing one of his Panzer Shreks. Needs to be recovered by anybody at any point. This squad could potentially pick it up. Yeah, the Volksgrens can pick them up. However, the KV-8 is just pushing forward, having its way with all the infantry. The infantry support gun backing off as fast as it can. MG34 retreating as well. A full rout from the battlefield as the KV-8 hits the field. It is a powerhouse and difficult to ignore. We do have Shreks on the field. The Shreks do fly, doing some damage, but not too much. The flak emplacements getting some damage in there on those heavy tanks, but not too much. It is at least something that the OKW have, where the base defenses do have a decent amount of power. The flak gun also here on the Schwer Panzer headquarters also has a decent amount of power. We do have all 3 of the tech buildings for Obscura. So, I mean, he does have the ability to call himself in a Tiger Koningstiger or Königstiger. Whatever, it's the King Tiger. He could call it in, but he does need more fuel and more manpower for that to happen. So, for the meantime, the KV-8 will reign supreme. The flak truck over here on the side, getting some damage in at a distance. RtN Warfare now on the field, as it is exactly what he needs. It's an AT gun, even though it is a little bit different from other AT guns. It works the same, and it does manage to inflict a little bit of damage there to the KV-8, forcing it to back off, although it doesn't look like that actually did any damage. But whatever, it'll help out. That's my point. Stone Pioneers up in the north, not doing too much. Obersoldaten going for the victory points. Victory points are 379 for Obscura, 324 for Chuck Norris, so a pretty even game here. 50-point lead by Obscura. And the KV-8 just backs off and it needs to get some repairs. We don't have any engineers on the field, and the conscripts cannot repair with this Doctrine. So the KV-8 will not be recovering any of its health very soon, unless Chuck Norris builds himself a combat engineer squad. Volkskrans move up. Oh, a nasty incendiary barrage right on top of the RtN Warfare. The RtN Warfare needs to move, and needs to move now. Incendiary round lands right on top of it, but it manages to dodge most of the damage. The MG34 also taking some flame damage as it sits in the fire. May lose one of its men to the flames. No, they managed to rush out of there and stay alive. Infantry also taking a little bit of damage, and on the retreat they will take some additional damage, which may be fatal here, but no, it looks like they'll be fine. And the MG34 managing to stop the shock troops as they approach, and the Obersoldat then pop into the house. Volksgren helping out as much as they can against the shock troops. The shock troops are going to be throwing a... No, actually they're not. It looked like they were going to do that, but they haven't. Looks like they were going to throw a grenade into the house, but they don't, and they are forced to retreat due to the suppression. And the Obersoldaten in the house doing a lot of damage here to the Maxim machine gun. The Maxim machine gun does end up dying. The Obersoldaten do not have the thing there, the salvage ability. KV-8 up in the north catches an Obersoldaten squad way out of position, down to one man. Will probably take out the entire squad, as this one man will not... He's not going to live through the flames, and there it goes, down an Obersoldaten squad, and that is the power of the KV-8, the ridiculous power of the KV-8. Still has a Storm Pioneer squad up in the north, very risky as the KV-8 can very easily destroy it. Obersoldaten squad retreating as there is a Maxim machine gun in the church. The RtN Warfare pushes up to cover the approach of the road. MG34 getting suppressed. We have the flak truck down south getting some shots in on the house as the AT gun gets moved in and getting some shots off on the building itself. The King Tiger now getting built here for Obscura. Could have built some other things, obviously. I mean, he wasn't only restricted to that. He had the ability to call in Panthers, even a Storm Tiger, or go for things like, where's it? The main one, right? The, no, tier 1? Yeah, the Jag Panzer. Things like that to try to deal with that, but he decides to go for the King Tiger, the massive bulkering beast that is obviously a powerhouse. Infantry support gun over on the left-hand side being brought in to deal some additional damage to the units here. However, it does not look like it will be able to save the building. The flak gun on the right-hand side will fall, but it has accomplished its mission in that it will allow the King Tiger to come into fruition. The King Tiger going to be hitting the field in a moment, and we have an IS-2 on the field for Chuck Norris. So King Tiger versus ISU, the match of the century? No, not really. The match of the war, maybe? I don't know. The match of the game. We'll see who comes out on top. KV-8, not really but going to be a factor in this matchup, because even with its main gun, I doubt that it can really penetrate the armor of a King Tiger. IS-2, however, doing some work as it manages to take out another Storm Pioneer squad. No more Storm Pioneers on the field. MG34 up in the north, taking a lot of damage, and the Königstiger is now on the field with a pretty cool skin there. The Ardennes Forest skin, I believe it's what it's called. And now it goes against the IS-2. The IS-2 gets crew shocked there as the King Tiger upgrades the gunner and manages to do a lot. The KV-8 retreating. The King Tiger smelling blood, trying to get that that thing dead. The King Tiger gonna be duking it out against the IS-2. The IS-2 trying as much as he can. Look at the damage go down on the King Tiger. The IS-2, he thought he was big, he thought he was tough, but he is no match for the King of Kings. And there he goes. The IS-2 now backing off. The King Tiger in hot pursuit. Shot from the IS-2, nicely placed, hits the rear. The KV-8 did go down here, as we did have a RtN Warfare in the fight. The IS-2 is just backing off, utilizing the speed of the road to put him in a better position. We do have an AT gun on the field, which is currently down south. It has already taken out the flak half-track, or flak truck, not really half-track. And the King Tiger veers off from the road and is going to head itself into the center. We'll be able to get more shots off on the IS-2. The IS-2 returns fire as a shot from the King Tiger heads straight into the church. Now that it knows there's still the Maxim machine gun there on the floor. The only things that could salvage it are Volkskrans, and the Volkskrans are moving in that direction. Nice angle there for the Maxim machine gun. It actually stops the Volkskran squad, but it's not going to stop the King Tiger. Oh, a nasty shot there by the Infantry support gun nails the Maxim machine gun, decrews it pretty much entirely, and the IS-2 is now coming up with the support of an AT gun to try to deal with the King Tiger. The King Tiger is going to be backing off, I believe. I may be mistaken. I think that you can only get one King Tiger. I'm not sure if you can only get one at a time. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. I don't play OKW too much. I've only just tested it out, but let me know. I mean, can you actually build more than one King Tiger? Or is it just one at a time, once per game? Or can you build as many as you want as long as, you know, your resources allow it? Well, anyways, IS-2 and King Tiger still duking it out. The IS-2 in a pretty bad shape here. He's down to about 30% strength. The King Tiger sitting at about 45, maybe 30 in the worst case. Incendiary barrage landing right on top of the AT gun. It does not look like Chuck Norris wanted that AT gun to fall to the hands of his enemy. He has another AT gun coming down, although it seems to be running into the fire. No, it stops short. The King Tiger on the field takes a shot, eliminates one of its members, but makes itself known to the AT gun. The AT gun cloaks, as that ability is obviously given by the Doctrine. Not too used, but it is there. And the Volkskrins move up, probably going to be throwing a nade right on top of the AT gun to maybe potentially decrew it. No, they are forced to retreat as shock troops get themselves right on top of it. The King Tiger backing off slowly. The IS-2 still in the north, still at about 25% strength. Rakuten Warfare moves back, wants to set itself up in a different position, a favorable position. Storm Pioneer still, no, actually, Storm Pioneer's now on the field, not really still. MG-34 set up in the center, trying to stop the approaching infantry. AT gun moves up to get more shots off on the King Tiger. The IS-2 moving down, going to try and get a flank on the King Tiger. The Rakuten Warfare moves up, or well, turns around. Can he get a shot off? Does not get a shot off on the IS-2. The IS-2 gets shot by the King Tiger. A massive shot there, brings it down to a sliver of health. One more shot and he's done. The King Tiger is about to fall. Can the King Tiger hold on? We shall see. The art. Oh, both of them go out of control, crash against each other, and down go the Titans. Now the field is open for anybody. The MG-34 stopping the shock troops in its tracks right in front of them, doing a lot of damage, getting them pinned down. The cap is still in the favor of Obscura. Does get forced away on his MG-34, however, brings up a second one to replace it. The Volkskrins move into the center, and they probably... No, Incendiary Barrage getting called in right on top of the Volkskrin. The Volkskrins will move out of the way. The AT gun is moving out as well. We do still have that AT gun falling on the field. And it could potentially just get salvaged. So we'll see what happens there. Combat Engineers popping into the house. There will be a little bit of an annoyance there to the Volkskrins. But the Volkskrins are veteran C3, not veteran C5 like, you know, they could be. But they are getting up there. It allows them to heal over time when they're out of combat, so that's a very nice ability for units. Multiple units in the Western Front armies have that ability, which is a very nice ability to have. Makes it less necessary to micro them and care for them. Volkskrins, even at veteran C3, not able to deal with the conscripts at close range, so they are forced to retreat. And as far as truck goes, we do have another truck obviously on the field, but it is not a flag half truck anymore. And who knows if he's going to be going for that. But, well, we do see the Volkskrins going ahead with their salvage operations, capturing territory, recovering some fuel, getting that fuel up there so that he can simply, you know, start producing more tanks. So a big lull here in the fight. We do see that Chuck Norris has taken massive amounts of losses. He is down to a shock troop squad, a conscript squad, and his AT gun back at the field. He did lose his combat engineer squad on the field, which is unfortunate, but there we go. We also see wreckages getting salvaged here by the Volkskren, so clearing the battlefield and gaining fuel. That is a very strong ability, which... maybe a little bit underused, I don't know. I haven't seen it being used too much. Maybe I wasn't paying attention, but actually that's pretty freaking strong. I mean, considering the amount of wreckage over here, it's going to allow him to get a lot of fuel very quickly. And if he can build another Tiger, I mean, he's only 100 fuel away from it. Less now, 90. So, I mean, 5 fuel here, 5 fuel over there. But with a KV-8, well, he's running out of time. Does have a Rakuten Warfare on the field and Shreks on his Volks, which will help out. The Rakuten Warfare already positioned very nicely. We'll be able to get some shots off on the KV-8. making it think twice before it goes forward. Gets another shot. Nice shot on the rear. Damages the engine. The Volkswagen squad dies and pops his Shrek right behind the KV-8. The KV-8 now in a very tough spot. Can he actually make it out? Gets a shot in the rear once again. The Volkswagen squad is forced to retreat. Infantry support. Oh, a nice shot there by the infantry support weapon or support gun. Nails the conscript squad, forces it to retreat. And that KV-8 is just in horrible shape. Volkswagen squad moves up. It's now taunting and haunting and trying to kill that KV-8. It can't actually do it, especially at a distance. Shots continue to fly, and there it goes. Down goes the KV-8. Horrible spot now here for Mr. Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris will apparently lose, even though you cannot beat Chuck Norris, but, well, I guess that's going to happen. So, let's see what's going on. So, to have something on the field, Obscura calls himself a Puma. That Puma will help out in case any vehicle hits the field. And considering that the investment on the KV-8 just happened, it doesn't look like nothing too intimidating will be hitting soon. Volkswagen squad up in the north, or not really up in the north, on the left-hand side, right in front, right outside the exit for Chuck Norris. Gets itself just mauled there by the shock troop squad, down to one man, barely makes it out of there. The Puma moves up, taking some shots there at the shock troops, but the shock troops, oh, I was gonna say they were gonna be just fine, but the cannon there just nailed one guy and exploded him into bits. I mean, he's crawling around, but I'm pretty sure his guts landed somewhere else. AT gun moves up, gets a nasty shot there on the Puma. The Puma pops its smoke and gets itself out of there. Nice usage of the smoke. Shock troops pop into the house. They will get shot by everything. We have Raketenwerfers, infantry support guns, Shreks, and a Puma to be able to shoot at it. AT gun moves up, getting some more shots as it can. The MG34 stopping the shock troops cold. And the Volkswagen is just having a blast. Oh, they actually take a blast there by a grenade. Forced to retreat. The MG34 repositions itself and allows the shock troop squad to just simply move out of the way. And the Raketenwerfer is forced to retreat as well, as the shock troops just, well, they are allowed to do a little bit too much damage there. Far south, an MG34 is just covering the entire approach. Could capture this and set itself up in the house to cover a little bit more neatly, but a little bit distracted. Obersoldaten on the field, clearing out the AT gun. Second AT gun gonna get cleared out once again. The Obersoldaten with their LMG will do very quick work of the men in that squad. A grenade lands, actually ends up killing some of its own members, I believe. Yeah, friendly kill. And the Obersoldaten retreat, as they do have to face against the shock troops with their SMGs. We'll probably lose one more guy on the retreat. There it goes, but the one man remaining is decently healthy enough that it's fine. The supply half-track could be just sacrificed into the fight if it's not going to be utilized. Just, you know, be used to push, absorb some shots, maybe push some infantry around even though they can't do that. And eventually it will get replaced. Does not seem to me like Obscura is going to be building anything with it at any point. Smoke grenade getting popped right in front of the MG34 so that the shock troops can continue to approach. The Puma moves up. We have once again a KV-8. The Puma will be able to actually deal with the KV-8 quite successfully since it doesn't take too much damage to its main gun and the flamethrower. So obviously it needs to be careful, but it will be a great asset here for Obscura. Obscura pops, backs off, gets some shots there, not really penetrating too much. The main gun goes. The half-track just being pulled back. Again, not entirely sure why he's being pulled back. He could actually just go and ram that against the KV-8 and sacrifice it, unless, of course, he is planning to right now build, once again, the Tier 3 building, which I don't see him actually doing. I mean, I don't see him going that route and doing that. Puma taking some shots at a distance, not managing to get penetrations on the KV-8. The KV-8 now in the center of the map, and whoa, my cursor went out of control. What the hell? I was not moving the camera there. These AT guns do need to get recruited. We see the shock troops retreating back at base, getting reinforced. A lot of manpower coming up for Mr. Obscura. Oh, this is a horrible spot for him. He actually pushes up and gets his units burned by the KV-8 at the same time. Clumped up his units, allowing the flamethrower to go nuts on him. Not the best situation. The Volkskreen's going to be separating themselves now. One of them retreats. The Rakuten Warfare will also need to retreat as it's right in front of some shock troops, and there it goes. Shreks go off on the KV-8. The KV-8 now down to about 75% strength. We do still have the Puma over here, and the half-track just backed off over there. Shreks flying at the distance. The KV-8 unable to do too much damage here to the Puma, or any damage at all to the Puma, as it did not have its main gun equipped. Puma manages to circle around it, get a nicely placed shot, and takes it out of control. The KV-8 does shoot back in retaliation, actually. Whoa, that was a weird pathing. Okay, yeah. For a second there, I thought I misread, and it didn't actually say out of control. But yeah, it didn't look out of control to me. It was turning corners rather than just going straight and crashing against the first thing. Shock troops pushing forward with the support of conscripts, trying to go for a last-ditch effort to try to stop the bleed. The MG-34 and the Obersoldaten do quick work of them, forcing them to retreat. And with nothing left really on the field now, and his troops over here, I think that's it. Yeah, Chuck Norris says the GG well played. Throws in the towel. GG by Obscura. And that is game. So very nice, a nice little epic fight here by the Tiger Ace. I mean, the King Tiger and the the KV-8, both of them dying at the same time, which is pretty epic to watch. But there you go. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.